Me personally, and now I've got a lot of areas. I like to, because I ask a lot of questions. That's why I have so many areas I'm trying to understand. And one of my area, it's based on my kind of a deep concern in society. Because many years ago, I heard about stories, friends, talking about something very serious, about sexual harassment. And then after I heard about those stories, it made me very angry. So then, it kind of got me ask a lot more questions in my head. Why this and why that? So instead of just getting angry, and then I decided to do research, to investigate, to find answers. And hopefully, like what Ali said, the outcomes from my research could have some impact in society. So hopefully maybe the result, the findings can help, maybe can influence the government to create new rules, new laws, new regulations. And hopefully I will be helping, we helping my friend, and at the same time I'm helping a lot of people in society. So this was my passion. It's not fun or interesting, it's very serious. But it all comes from passion. So I guess, so this is like my advice to people. Maybe start from something you have a passion, maybe stuff you really want to know and you don't know and you can't find answer. So maybe you will become that guy to find answer. So this is like an area where you can find a topic.
I absolutely agree, right? Because everybody who reads your research is human. They want something fun, right? They want something interesting. And I think that fun and interest come from you first. Because you need to be really passionate in when we were talking about eye tracking, we're talking about staying at monastery, me talking about my PhD in festivals, or my flash mob research, we are all passionate. We smile when we talk about it. But I think we also need to be serious and think about the so what question. So I think it directly goes back to what you were saying earlier. So what kind of impact can I make to the society, to the government, for example? In my research, I think every research is the same, right? But at the end, you always give implications of your study, right? How can the government take your advice into creating better policies? How can businesses take your advice into creating better products, right? More profitable products? I think, building on what Fernando mentioned earlier, I think you also need to think about that so what question.
I do agree everything starts with a passion, because no one wants to read. Just consider this one. It's like when you check the social media, you disregard the things that you don't like it, right? And then you only check the things that you have personal interest. And I believe that it's like during the day, there are some questions that always make our mind busy. And I suggest future researchers to consider and try to find answers to these questions like why, how, and it must first feed your personal curiosity and interest. And that's what's exciting to me, regardless of what the question is. Because as you mentioned, like skateboarding, or it can be different, but if you have personal interest, you are not going to feel bored while you are reading any article, any book. Because it's going to be very exciting learning more about, when you have passion, you don't feel bored. It's like you're just increasing your awareness. And surely, at the end of the day, of course, we need to ask ourselves, okay, once I've done this research, so what? Yes. So in real life, is there any equivalence? Like how this can be useful for different stakeholders? Based on the research question, people may have different benefits, or sometimes there are some research that maybe there is no direct implication to the industry, but still other researchers going to have benefit, or maybe with your findings you are going to open new questions, and that's also important, I think.
I try to do research that could help those who are not socially powerful or somehow marginalized, society. Try to help them voice out their concern. For example, the reason why I am interested in understanding the life of the monastic community, because today monasteries all over the world, basically they have become cultural attractions. And while we got lots of visitors to visit those monasteries, and they appear to be very nice to visit, very seldom you'll find research that will look from the other perspective, which is from those who seldom say, anything, to the public. They welcome you anyway, but deep in their heart, actually in their own worldview, how do they interpret tourism? So they will not do, research like what we all do, but with the ability and the power that we have, actually somehow we are like activists. We try to say something on behalf of those people who can't say much. So we voice out their concerns and let the society know. So at least, the time when I did my PhD, and later on I transformed them to be publications, I actually share my research outcomes, my papers with those monasteries. Yeah, with they are my friends right now. So even though we could not really quantify, the impact that we have produced, but somehow we know that maybe, at least their worldview, has been shared, successfully, with the rest of the outer world, and that would be quite another meaning, To me, it is also a path of purification, that you really find the meaning of doing research, It's really for the soul, of feeding my own soul.